don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. This is the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey, and welcome to another amazing live political commentary show. It is 9:02 p.m. Eastern, right on the dot if you're watching this live. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us, being here. Listen, last night's show is getting a lot of commentary from other folks around the listening area in Muncie and Delaware County. We're making a little bit of noise, people being up in arms about what was said last night, either pro what was said or against what was said. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. We're also going to look at a situation that is making news from all over the southeastern corridor of the United States. We'll take a look about something going on down there, and then we will also take a look at the Muncie Board of Works meeting that occurred today. We'll also take a look at Mayor Ridenour's community update that he gave us. He graciously talks to his citizens on Wednesday mornings, so we'll take a look at that, and we'll have some commentary there. And then we will also we will give you a record request update, where we are with what's going on there, yada, yada, yada. And then we will also give an update on Mike Jones. We'll have a Mike Jones update. And then we will also talk about an invoice that we received today. We didn't receive it from the city, but we think it's connected to the city, so we'll talk about that. And so we've got a busy show planned. Hey, we would Mike who? Yes, I love it. If you have not liked the show, please consider going down and giving us a like. That would be fantastic. If you're not subscribed, please do so. And then click the bell so you can get notified when we go live. Above all else, help share the show with everyone you know, and help spread the word. That's what matters. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful Tuesday. It was a warm day. It's been a warm couple of days, I guess. Spring has sprung and summer's here, so I think that's just basically what the situation is. So it is what it is, and we will survive. I always wish we had a few more days of like 70-ish weather. I think maybe I'm just built for I really did well in London. When I lived in London, I did well with that. I don't mind a warm rain, but I don't like drastically cold temperatures, and I do not like drastically hot temperatures. So it is what it is. I heard Mike Jones was spotted filling out an application at AutoZone. Well, let me tell you, that must have just been someone else named Mike Jones, in which, look, let's face it, it is a pretty common name. But that wouldn't have been Mike, because honestly, oh no, you are right. It's Wednesday. You know the reason I said Tuesday? I thank you for thank you. That was that Mr. Wargo or Mrs. Wargo? All right, thank you, Tiffany. It is Wednesday. The reason I said Tuesday is because we had a night off here. We actually were off Monday night, so in my mind it should have been Tuesday. So rewind everything that I said and implant Wednesday in that, and we will be right on track. So sorry about that. It's episode 207, the 207th episode to the show. And it is episode or it's Wednesday evening. So yeah, sorry about that. My bad. Thank you. No, but the reason that Mike Jones wouldn't be filling in that application, check. Sorry, we had a little bit of delay there. The reason that Mike Jones wouldn't be filling in that application is he actually has no other skills. I mean, the only thing he can do is go and then send it out. That's basically what he does. The reason he has that job is because of his friendship with James King. So, yeah, I don't think that would be him. I will tell you, we do know that he is alive. I was worried for a moment, but he did. I have to show you this, and this is really crazy, but we'll might as well get this Mike Jones commentary out of the way right early on. He did. I have to show you, and this just blows me away. Here we go. He did actually pull this up here. Send me out of everything that we've been through, everything that's happened. He did send me officially a friend request. I received this either late last night or early today. Mike sent you a friend request. You know, like, what do I think we're going to do that? I might stick that straight in the trash can, or let him stick that straight up. Oh, anyways, no, I'm not going to accept that. Mike Jones, I feel so sorry for him. He does not apparently know how to social media. I don't know how many times I have said my Facebook is open as it could be. It's open across the board. Like, my Facebook is so open that you can literally see my postings even without a Facebook account. Like, all you have to do is Google Kristopher Bilbrey Facebook, and specifically Google like a title. I do something that a lot of people don't do. And maybe I mean, there's no real reason I need to do it, because it gives you the date. But I always date all of my postings. So if you see here, it says Kristopher H. Bilbrey. And then the very first thing that I always write is the date, 05-.22.24. And then I say what I'm going to say. See right here, I've done it, 05.22.24. And the reason I do that is it makes it very easy to go back and search. So if you or if anyone's ever looking for something that I've ever posted, if you want to see it, you come up here to the search bar and you type my name, Kristopher H. Bilbrey, type it all out. And then you search a date. Like, man, I know Bilbrey said something crazy back in December of 2023, but I can't really remember. So the very worst case scenario, you have like 31 different searches you need to do, because if you type in 12.01.23, it will take you to all of my postings from the 23rd. If you type in 12.15.23, it will take you from all of my postings from the 15th. So that's the reason I do that. And anybody can see my content, whether we're friends or not friends or not. The best thing in the world that Mike Jones would do that absolutely killed me is I routinely post the same thing on several different groups, so lots of people can see it. And Mike Jones would come to my wall and he would make a comment. Oh, Bilbrey, he's on the Kiss of Death tour. You suck, Bilbrey. And then he would go over to my post on the Muncie Community Awareness, and he would go to that post and he would be like, oh, I see you're deleting my comments now. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I would like put a question mark. And then later on, he would go to like Delaware County Community Awareness and see the same post. And he would be like, wait a minute, what are we talking about? No, he's not extending an olive branch. This guy is pure trash. 100%. I will accept it just to see how long it takes him to unfriend me and or block me. I don't care about that, but no, that guy is 1,000%, 1,000% pure trash. And I will do it just to see what kind of chaos and craziness that we can get into. Look, here's the bottom line. In roughly, what is this? Today is the May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. In like 7.5 months, I will never, ever, 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 ever have to talk about him or to him again, because when he will be out of county government and he will no longer be a government employee, it will be like he ceases to exist. And that will be truly a beautiful day. All right. So enough with that nonsense. Moving on. So another day, another 24-hour window has passed. Last night when we were here, I told you that I had received a document, this document right here. I had received this from the Muncie city government due to a records request. This was the contract that I had asked for. And actually, it's quite impressive. I asked for this contract. I sent a request for this in on Thursday the 16th. Thursday the 16th, I sent this in. And they were able to get this to me like boom, bang, pow. All right? Like amazing. But yet, I'm still waiting for requests that I sent in February. So we will see. Now, I noticed that last night, Dr. K asked me if I had received the requests from Madison County on the time cards for Russ. And I have not received those yet, but I don't know when you thought that I sent those in or not. I just sent that in pretty recently. I sent that in because I was wanting to see what was going on with the situation pertaining to the request and all of that with the information from the public access counselor and all of that pertaining to the public test. So I actually didn't send the request in for the time cards until here recently. I've only sent that in at the end of April. I think I sent it in on. I emailed it to the clerk's office on the 29th of April. The 29th of April is when I sent that into the clerk's office. So we're getting to the point that it's ridiculous. We're getting to the point where, you know, it would be a month. They should have received that. I should have received it. I sent it on Monday, the 29th. So I should have received that probably already, but we'll wait till the 29th. I'll wait until probably what I'll do is on Tuesday, the 28th, when we get back from Memorial Day, I will send in an email and say, hello, just letting you know tomorrow's 30 days to see what will happen there. So we'll see what happens. And I already have a complaint form drawn up. If I need to send that in to Luke Britt, I will send that in and we'll see what goes on there. So that's that. But back in the city of Muncie, I was kind of hoping after last night's after yesterday's chaos and going in and talking with Patty Goddard, the new HR director and everything, I was kind of hoping that I would have some more records from the city of Muncie today. I was hoping maybe that I would get that, but I didn't. I didn't receive anything else. I haven't received anything else, and so, you know, I kind of think that that's it's just disappointing. You know, it's disappointing that they continue to be as crazy with all of that as they are, and do all of that. And again, you know, I was very unhappy with the email that Marlene Mitchell sent out, because my complaint yesterday to the mayor was not against Marlene. The complaint that I sent out was against Craig Wright. It was against the department heads, against the mayor specifically himself. It was not against Marlene Wright, because I look at the HR position as kind of the messenger. I'm not killing the messenger. The messenger, the HR position there, personnel director, whatever they are, she chastised me for saying they're not one or the other, and I was like, okay, same difference. And she was like, no, really, they're not. I'm like, listen, lady, you are here arguing. You're getting me way off into the weeds. Knock that crap off. I was talking to somebody today, and it was like, kind of like she was a middle school guidance counselor. That's kind of like what she was doing. And she was trying to be like, oh, here, let me, you know, and I'm like, just stop. She got on my nerves, very, very much so. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how long she lasts. I think she'll drive the people in the city of Muncie crazy. I don't know. But so that's that. We're still waiting on records, still waiting on Greenlight Resources records. You know, I could see them saying, well, we've got to wait till the investigation. No, you don't. You are still in possession of public records. They are still public documents. Nothing has been seized by the court. You have not been told by any entity to, you know, hold on and not release anything. If you have public documents, you know, that's Joe Black. What in the world? That's hilarious. I get it. I just got it as soon as I read that. That's funny. That's funny. Dan is a bizarre, mysterious, elusive, standoffish, and a whole bunch of other nouns. Yes. And I saw the other question I want to answer from last night. because I was kind of on a roll last night, so I didn't answer much or talk to you all from the audience last night. I apologize for that. Sometimes I do when it's a little bit loosey goosey. I'm able to kind of talk to you guys more. Sometimes if I have a script written out, I tend to not do that. So I have to hope that Kate is answering some of you or talking to you, and you guys are like keeping each other company, and I will get back to you at a later time, either privately when I write back to you, or like answering some questions tonight from last night. I know that Stumblefoot asked me last night about something to the effect of how successful have I been at receiving requests for emails that the mayor has either written or been sent. And I will tell you, I've always been successful. It might take a minute, and it might take a long minute, but I always get them eventually. The bottom line is my grandpa continues to say, like, oh, they're not going to give you any more records. Like, they don't have a choice. They can slow walk me, and they can delay and delay and delay. But at the end of the day, one way or another, I'm going to get them. I'm going to get them because they just realize they cannot hold out any longer. Or I'm going to get a ruling from the public access counselor, and they're going to give them to me. Or I'm going to get a ruling from the public access counselor, and they're going to continue holding on to them. And I'm then going to file a lawsuit in court and go after them. And at that point, they will give them to me. I have done every single one of those things. And I will continue to do that if and when needed. So, at the end of the day, I do get the records. It might take 6 months and be a bunch of ridiculous nonsense, but at the end of the day, I will get the records that are public document because they've got no other choice. Now, I mean, I guess if they feel so inclined, they could delete stuff. They could, throw things away or whatever. But, that's on them to have to do that. And if they so choose to do that, then I feel sorry for them. I've already won. So I'm down with however. While we're talking about email, I want to send this document to Kate. I hope. Oh, no, I'm going to have to send it to you this way, so it'll be readable. We'll do it like this. Restore. Okay. I'm going to send you this, Kate. And if you would put this up. So last night, when I got off of the live, I was all kind of still jazzed up about the camping trip. And for those of you that watched last night's video, I told you at the end of the night, at the end of that episode, I told you that I was going to go ahead and make a short video out of last night's video, and I did finally do that. And I wanted to let you guys know that let me see, is this the Is this the one? Where are we at? Yeah. So for those of you that do not know, I did make a little, oh man, Ryan, are you kidding? I'll send you the video. The mayor of Muncie is, you missed last night's show. I'll send you the video. The mayor of Muncie is wanting to take the 9 councilors to up north to Angola and have a 2-day meeting with them, essentially, and basically brainwash them into being on his side when it comes to things that he might want to do over the next 3.5 months. I'm sending you a link, Ryan, and what that will do is it will let you see a little 14-minute long clip from last night's the end of last night's show, and it's put together very well. You can go in there and you can see it. It's very interesting. What is this nonsense? Why does it say that you are unable to be contacted on Messenger? What's the deal with that?
I'll get it sent to him. You get on with the show.
Ridiculous.
The stuff's in the overlays for you.
Okay, very good. Very good. Yeah, I just sent you the link to send to him. I don't know what the world is going on with that. So last night, gotta admire his efforts to get everybody on the same page. No, what? Holy crap. Yeah, no, that is insane. No, that's not good. You can't have an illegal closed door meeting like that. That's insane. That's nuts. So, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's look at the email that I sent to the City of Muncie last night. And here's the email. I sent this to Dan Ridenour. I sent it to his deputy mayor. I sent it to all 9 council members. And it says, sign me up. I know I'm a little late, but my invite must have gotten lost in the spam folder. But better late than never. That's okay. You can just slide me in Dustin's spot. Too soon? Anywho, this might be one of the best ideas the mayor has ever had. Well, at least the best idea since that time we about got jacked by some con men from Atlanta, Georgia. I can't wait till we get to do some trust falls. This is gonna be dope. All right. I kind of thought Prairie Creek or the Eagle's Nest, which is his wife's Airbnb, would have been an okay location for something like this. It definitely would have cost less. But you know me, like Dan, I'm down to clown in any old town. And then we go on to the part 2. So about the ride up, are we going via a big long caravan or what? We should see how many people we can squeeze into a city ambulance and hit the road. Signal 10. That's lights and sirens, for those that don't know. No matter what, I want to ride with Adam, Craig, and or Basham. That said, I call shotgun. Okay, let me know. I'm going to start packing. I cannot wait for the open door bonfire, the open door zip line, and the open door weenie roast. Dudes, this is going to rock. P.S. I think Audie Barber wants to come too. Just FYI. Now, let me tell you, I was thinking about writing in there a throwback to Home Alone when I was going to write, I think Audie Barber wants to come. to just FYI. And then I was going to put, but don't let him drink Coke after 7. He wets the bed. But I didn't want to offend Audie, so I didn't put that. I didn't put that in there. Now, I then sent that out to lots of city officials, all of the council members, department heads, the mayor. I think maybe the deputy mayor's in there, the communications director, which then I kind of felt very bad because I said that part about Dustin. And of course, we know that she's got some kind of weird connection to Dustin. So I kind of felt bad about that. But oh well, we'll survive. So I put that in there, but I'm not really sure that he Dan liked it. But I will tell you, I received correspondence from some of the people that received that today, and they thought it was hilarious. So I liked that they liked it, as well as Kate and Brandon and I liked it. It was a good time. Trust Falls brand or Web Trust Falls. That's going to be so amazing. I want to say everybody's got to get ready. Adam and I are the first and second in line. That way, by the time everybody does it, we've already worn everybody out. They're like, we can't do it any longer. Yeah, the bottom line is, and this is what I want to talk about, because obviously I'm taking the piss a little bit with this, but so I want to talk about this a little bit more just than we did last night. We talked about it at the end of the show, but I want to give a little bit more commentary on this because so this morning I released the short 14, 16, however many little minute clip. And I posted about it. And so when I posted that, I said, here's the quick 14-minute video explaining Muncie Mayor Dan Ridenour's plan to take his administration and all of the city councilors. Remember, keep in mind, listen to what I'm saying. I don't give a damn what he does with his fire chief and his police chief. And now, I do if it costs lots and lots and lots of money. All right. So, like, is this budgeted? Did we know this was going to happen? I have never, ever, ever, ever heard of this before. So this is the first time I'm hearing of this. I never heard this being discussed. You know, what fund is this coming from? Of course, it's coming from Edit. I mean, obviously, it's going to come from Edit. How much money is in that Edit fund? It's insane. You know, it's like it. I'm telling you, his Edit fund is like that little chocolate thing that my grandma had that I just thought always gave, you know, Hershey's Kisses. I'm going to have to steal that Edit fund from him and bring it home because it's got never-ending amounts of money in it. Crazy. But he wants to take all of his counselors, all 9 of them, keep that in mind, to a retreat in Angola up near Michigan, to promise them things for their districts so they'll be more aimed to be in line with his way of thinking when it comes time to vote on projects he'll be pushing forward in the next 3 to 5 years. All right, think about that. Dan the man wants to load up all of the department heads, all of the counselors on Friday, June 7th and Saturday, June 8th, 2024, and head to the beautiful state park in Angola, Indiana, all the way up by Michigan. Maybe they'll be sliding over the line and getting some edibles, if you know what I mean. But for what reasons you might all ask? All in the name of long-term planning and team building. Well, those things sound wonderful until you really dig behind the scenes and think about what he's doing. Mayor Ridenour wants to be able to ask the city councilors the following questions. How can the administration help you as councilors for your districts and the city? That sounds great, doesn't it? Sure, until it comes with a caveat. Until it comes with a, I've helped you, now it's your time and turn to help me. Then he wants to ask, what do we, the mayor's administration and the council as a whole, want to accomplish in the next 4 years? Listen, that sounds fine until you realize that the mayor's administration and the council are not necessarily part of the same team. They are two separate but equal parts of government. They are the checks and balances. All right? They're there as checks and balances. Yeah, I want them to have the same goal as doing what's right for the city of Muncie. But, I don't want, as Dale Basham said, them to be there just to be a voice and a vote for the mayor. That's not what they're there to do. They're there to be a voice and a vote for the citizens. Sometimes that's in line with what the mayor wants, and sometimes that's against what the mayor might want. Then the mayor says that he wants to work together for the future of Muncie. Well, that sounds good, right? This retreat is said to be 2 days of strategy, coordination, and fellowship. The officials from Muncie that attend this will be staying in the historic Potawatomi Inn on Lake James, but it's not all about work. Oh, no, because those that go are told that it's an all-skate, meaning everyone can bring their families. What I want to know is, can they bring their families and their side pieces? Can the girlfriends and the boyfriends come? What happens if some of them bring their families and their boyfriends and girlfriends also happen to be other people also there? That could be weird. The advert that has been being emailed to the councilors repeatedly, and I failed to mention that last night. This has been being mailed out to them over and over and over again. It says there are tons of activities at the park and locally for the family's entertainment. And this is the best part. The cost for this nice little getaway, meaning the hotel room and the food, are all covered by the city of Muncie, which means by taxpayer dollars. The only thing not covered is the cost of food for the family. But hell, that's not bad, We pay for everything except a little bit of grub for the,
Niles is over here. He wants to go too.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Let's rock and roll. I'm saying, listen, I'm going. Here's the deal. I said this last night. If I'm telling you this, my opinion is we as a city need to be telling all 9 council members, we do not want you to attend this. You're getting to it, Ryan. You're getting to the question. We're going to be talking about that in just 1 second. That's the thing. We need to be telling the council members, no, we do not want you to attend this. We do not want this to be a thing that you attend. The Shining, Misery, the Saw movies all put into one, Joe Black. That's exactly right. Okay. Fun, wait. The city's paying for all of this? Out of what fund? I'm sure, like I said, it's coming from Edit. What's the real purpose of this? The flyer goes on to basically tell us. The tentative agenda items are: let us, meaning the mayor, know what you, the city councilors, want for your council districts. Get to know the department heads. Long-term plan inclusion. Yes, we're going to include you in on the city's plans. That way you can be part of it. Budgeting for 2025 and beyond. And then just ironically enough, they have Station 5 and Station 3 on there as its own little agenda item. Now, you might be saying, what's Station 5 and what's Station 3? Well, folks, I can tell you. That's fire stations 5 and 3. Maybe someone will just bring their side piece instead of the family. Hey, look, maybe if you just have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, maybe they'll even get to eat and the city will pay for that. You know what I mean? Here's the thing with this. This is what's so weird. I think that this is all about that last agenda item. Station 5 and Station 3. Station 6 is what the bot agreement has already been implemented for. $9 million to fix one fire station. Well, now all we need is the council to agree to fix Station 3 for $9 million and to fix Station 5 for $9 million. That's what I think this is about. And I'm going to be really honest. How many of you have noticed that this council is not as strong as council from the last 4 years? Listen, the council from the last 4 years couldn't be swayed and bought by the mayor because there were tough council members. For the most part, they had their own head on their shoulders, and they had a good leadership, and they understood what their role was. This current council, ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest, it's not nearly as strong as the council from 4 years ago. The last 4 years. There is a fight. There is a fight. No, but David, that's not true, because that's not true. You also had Troy, who was on there, who went his own way. You had folks that were there that would not be led around by the mayor's, let the mayor lead them around by the nose or the pocket. And listen, for right and wrong or good and bad of Jeff Robinson, I'm going to tell you, there were things that he did that was good. A lot of things that he did good as a council member for the citizens of Muncie. There were questionable things, obviously, and of course. And I'm never going to say anything other than that. But the council was a stronger fixture. The council now is not nearly as strong. They are discombobulated. And I'm telling you right now, there is a fight for control of that council. But I'm going to tell you, you want to know who the fight's between? The fight is not between two council members. The fight for control of that council is between Nora Powell and Dan Ridenour. The fight for the councils between Nora and Dan. Dan realizes Dan's not an idiot. I know I know he does a lot of ignorant things, but he's calculated. Dan knows that the council is in a turbulent time, and that if he can suck onto it and he can take control of it, that's what he's willing to do. Well, I'm telling you right now, between Dan Ridenour controlling the Muncie City Council and Nora controlling the Muncie City Council, at least at this point, my allegiance would be to she that shall not be named. I'm telling you, it's like, man, politics makes bizarre and weird bedfellows, I'm telling you. What a strange and weird and crazy day. Muncie needs new blood in politics. That is the understatement of the decade. She's the devil, but at least she's not Dan. if it turns out that, like, for some unknown reason I have to vote for her over Dan or push her over Dan, meaning that's going to be like the tagline. She's the devil, but at least she's not Dan. Listen, there will come a time, I'm sure, that I'll battle Nora again. I'm not lost to that. That's not lost on me. But right now, when it's Dan or Nora in control of I don't know. So, here's the thing. Getting back to Ryan's question, how is this not an open door violation? Well, like, what's the deal with this? Okay, how's this not that? All right. First of all, let me say this. This is definitely an attempt by the mayor to low-key buy the future council votes for projects that he wants to jam through later. All right? That's just that. It's going to be like when he's like, hey, do you want me to make a till pond? And Ray Dudley and everybody is over there is like, yeah, that'd be great. And then, look, we're still telling him, we want that till pond, Dan. He's still holding that over everybody's heads. Well, let me tell you, okay? Let me tell you what's happening. Basically, what this is that push, all right? So that's the thing there. That's what we've got to keep in mind. Well, the question has to be, how is this not an open door violation? Well, let me tell you, I'm hearing that one of the council members, at least one, has asked that same question, to which Dan has said, this is what I'm hearing. Okay, I'm trying to find this out for myself. But I'm hearing that they have told the council, oh, it's open to the public. That's why I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, I give you my word. If we get down to the deadline and I hear and we find out, whenever we find this out, if I find that 5 or more council members are going to this thing, 5 or more council members are going to this thing, I will attend that event. I'll make them throw me out. I'll make them call the police and escort me off the property or whatever. But if there are 5 or more council people, you better bet your ass I will be up there and making sure that as much of that is open and live streamed to the public as possible. Has this been released to the public? So how is it open to the public? First of all, it has not been released to the public. There's nothing about this that's been released to the public. This is the beauty of all of this, folks. This is the beauty about this, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, today, the time of this broadcast, for those of you that might be watching at your own time via replay or repeat, as I'm speaking, it is 9:50 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, the 22nd of May. We have a Muncie City Council meeting scheduled for Monday, June 3rd. Monday, June 3rd. Now, the mayor started sending these out to everybody around May 8th, the day after the election. And he told them that they had basically a week to RSVP. So he started emailing them, you need to do all of this. So apparently the RSVPs were due on the 15th. Now I'm going to send something else to you. If you can put that up, that would be fantastic. Check. Can you hear me? If the sound is messing up, go out and come back in.
Your feed is messing up. Your video's messed up and the audio. It's kind of a robotic kind of thing going on.
All right, stay there.
Sorry, y'all. You're stuck with me now. Yeah, it's interesting. It's open to the public. The public has not been notified, and it's 2 hours away from the city. So, yeah, I'm not really sure how that's going to work. So he's jumped out. Hopefully he'll be popping back in here with a clearer signal in a minute. Yeah, JD and Dan can't be happy with Kristopher tonight for some reason. I don't understand. All the locals are welcome. Yeah. Open to the public. So if you're staying at the hotel, you can just mosey through and join in the trust falls and whatnot. So hopefully Kristopher gets back up here soon.
Stop him.
Because I have no idea where he was going with the show as per usual. But you can see here this lovely hotel, and there should be plenty of room if anyone wants to join in. This lovely recreation area there as well, and the lake.
Paid for by the city.
Paid for by the city. I know, impressive. And with the way that the Board of Works operates, you can just send your bill to the Board of Works and have them go ahead and approve it. Is overall an acceptable attire? I would imagine that it is. So let's see what's going on here with Kristopher. See if he's gotten stuck. Because he's not popping back on. Has Dan been watching all the goings-ons with Super Mayor? I think we'll let Kristopher handle that one. Oh, look, there you are, and it's coming through. The picture's perfect.
Hello, can you hear me? Sound good? Okay. Sorry, and that took a hell of a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. It's not so easy for me to come out and come back in as it is you guys. Has Dan been watching all of the goings on with Super Mayor Tiffany Hinyard and taking notes? Yeah, I think so. Obviously, yeah, it's very, very crazy. So let me get back to what I was saying there. Sorry, and it sucks for all of you people that are watching live, but for the people that watch this and repeat, they'll never see any of that because I'll cut that out. So we'll do it like this. So basically the situation is Dan started sending out emails for this on May 8th, and he wanted everyone to RSVP by the 15th. Now, Kate, I sent you something? Did you get it? It's an invoice. All right, put that up in the thing if you get a chance. So, if you could, please, and thank you. So, Kate's going to put something up, and I want to let you guys know this. But here's the thing. I've called the public access counselor to ask about this, to find out what's going on, to find out, if this is, what's good, what's not good here. Okay, I'm finding out about that. I do not have a rundown on who will be attending yet. The good thing here is we have a Muncie City Council meeting scheduled for the Monday before this. So when we attend the council meeting on Monday, maybe this will be an agenda item. We don't know. Maybe they'll talk about this. But I expect that they should bring this out to the public at some point. Or were they trying to hide this? I don't know. So when I attend the meeting on June 3rd, God willing, I will ask the council then if they intend on going. Now, I've said, and this comes with a caveat, so bear with me. I've said, I don't care what the mayor does with his administration. If Dan wants Adam and Richard Ivy and Gretchen Cheeseman and Steve Selvey and Nate Sloan to go to a nudist camp and do team building exercises or whatever, I don't care. As long as it's not going to cost the taxpayers crazy amounts of money. All right? Because they could easily go hold a team building exercise at City Hall nude if they would like. Well, so let me tell you, I'm just saying this. It just what you're saying there, Annie, is it comes down to the cost of things, obviously. Listen. Here's the deal. Dennis kept the roads paved. The roads didn't look like they currently do under Dennis Tyler. So if Dennis wanted to take his department heads to Chicago for the weekend, maybe he wanted to treat them with $5,000 that he had laying around. No big deal. No big deal. Okay. The problem I have here with Dan is I don't care what he does with his department heads, but we need to know what it's going to cost, where it's coming from, why is it necessary, and ask if it's really necessary. Is there something that Dan could do at City Hall or at Prairie Creek or at the field house, or could he ask the county if he could use the fairground to do something there? Space Cat. Here's the thing. This is why I say I make a promise. Like, I'm not going to go up there if it's going to be Dan and Gretchen and Steve and the fire chief and the police. Like, whatever. I'm not going up there for that. But if the council is going to be up there in a quorum or more, like if all 9 council members are going, you better bet your ass I'll be right there. Definitely fraud, waste, and abuse. Not a good steward of taxpayer dollars. That's what Niall said last night. Yeah, that's absolutely true. But if there will be a quorum, which is 5 council members or more, then I feel like I have an obligation that I have to go up and ensure that we have coverage of what's happening, period. That's what the thing is. Maybe he'll like that. Maybe he won't. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm going to go to the council meeting on the 3rd. I've already sent an email out to the council members, so we'll see how many respond. Remember last council meeting, I called Dale Basham out And I was like, hey, you better start answering me or I'm going to come here every council meeting and bash them. And so we'll see what happens. But I've asked all 9 council members what their knowledge is of this, what they're planning to do, how this, how they reconcile this against open door, yada, yada, yada. And we're going to try to find out what's going on there. They can respond to me publicly or privately in an email and I'll keep you guys posted, or they can respond to me publicly, or they can sit there on a bump on a log and not say anything as I ask them publicly and look bad. I don't know. They can do whatever they want to do, but that's what I'm going to be doing. The mayor talked to the citizenry today. The mayor decided
Didn't you have an invoice?
Yeah, I'm going to put that up here in just 1 second.
Okay, I didn't know if it was related to this or something else.
No. Yeah, we're coming back to that. So the mayor of the city of Muncie talked to everybody today, and I did not. What is that? Let me see if I can get this to. Sorry, here. Give me a second. I had to refresh. I don't understand what's going on. With all right, there we are with Facebook. Okay. So, if ever I can get this to load in a timely manner. Okay, we'll come back to that. So the city of Muncie, obviously today was Wednesday, so Dan does his talk to the city, his community update, yada yada yada. He does that normally on Wednesdays after the Board of Works meetings. Okay, here we are. So maybe in this thing he will tell us about this team building exercise that he's going to do. Maybe he will tell us about his plan to do whatever the heck it is that he's actually planning to do. Or maybe not. Okay, we're trying this one more time. Sorry, I had to reload it. Okay, while we're waiting on that, I'm going to go ahead and show you this. I guess I'll go ahead and show you this invoice. So I received this invoice from a source today. This did not come to me through the city hall. So I cannot confirm that this specifically is an invoice from City Hall. It looks like it probably is. It looks like somebody else received this from someone there. So just take this with a little bit of grain of salt. But this is an invoice. It looks like an invoice for at least the first part or some kind of connection to this trip. So it says it's got the inn up there, 6 lane, 100A Lake James, Angola, Indiana, 46703. And it says client organization, City of Muncie, Shireen Wegley. And then it says group contract room list. Check-in date Friday, 6/7/2024. Checkout day Saturday, 6/8/2024. Release date Wednesday, 5/15/2024. Group code. Please review, sign, and return by May 7th, 2024. Please note, list room rates does not include the 10% discount. The current deposit due is $3,231.65. Now, that's interesting to me. So it says 2 full bed historic room, 4 of those, and then 2 queen bedroom, 21 of those, for a total of 25 bedrooms. And the 2 full bed historic rooms are $119.99 each, and the 2 queen bedrooms are $139.99. So the total amount on this is $3,419.75. It says they the current deposit due is $3,231.65. This does not have anywhere on here where it includes food. I don't see anything where food is listed, and they have stated that they would be
if
paying.
you look down in the bottom, that bottom left box,
Yep.
default charge, I can't read it.
Says default charge, room charges, phone charges, restaurant charges.
There's activity charges and other charges. So they're saying that any other charges for this, this is the default charge card for those.
Okay. So, I don't really know what, that's kind of a weird thing. So I don't know if this is going to be, I don't know what they're going to be doing here. So each room at least, well, I mean, I guess if you want people sleeping in the same bed with each other, I don't know if they would be doing that or not. They technically could be, I guess. It's the City of Muncie. Who knows? But yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. So I'm gonna have to find out what exactly this is. This is a weird thing, because I do know for a fact that there are other people that have issued requests relating to this. My question is, are they releasing some requests and not other requests? Like, if they're able to release it, what is the deal with which they are getting documents ready for release? Like, if they've got them ready, release them to everybody that's requested it. Now, I will tell you, yeah, I'm sure that's happening, Annie. From what I've heard, it very well could be Gretchen, Steve, and Adam. Dustin and Michelle. Now, in my opinion, Dustin should not be able to attend this. I'm taking Dustin's spot. I've slid into Dustin's spot. So, whatever goes on there. That being said, I don't know who owns stock in this place. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I've heard that this place is not doing very well, and I hope I'm not bunking with Michelle. I didn't sign up for that. I'm just talking about the Dustin will go as Michelle's +1. Yeah, probably. That's hilarious. So that'll be interesting to see what exactly happens with that. If he would go, or I don't know. That's Dustin's getting paid to work on his own business. I know that. That's a very good possibility. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's currently right now he's off doing God knows what, and that's the only way Dan would be able to book the place if they weren't doing well. Yeah. Well, okay, so now let's listen to this. We've got Dan pulled up here. He apparently wasn't ready for a moment. And we will see what Danny Boy has to say. Maybe he'll talk about this. I don't know. I have a feeling he probably doesn't.
Had some really warm weather. Good morning, Muncie. Dan Ridenour here, your mayor. Today is Wednesday. It is May 22nd, and we've had some really warm weather. And hope you get a chance to go out and enjoy some of the sunshine, and hope you had the chance. And I think there's a little bit of rain coming, but that is May. May is also Affordable Housing Month, and I just want to give you an update on Riverbend Flats, which is one of the new apartment developments that we helped do. The TWG built those, and those are at the corner of Burlington and Memorial. They are fully leased. They just celebrated their anniversary. And they're still fully leased. And even she indicated to me, I was there last week, that they still have a waiting list as well. Also, I want to give you an update.
I'm hearing there's lots of problems with that place, that there are a lot of people that are reporting criminal activity, that there's a lot of drug use and abuse and dealing in various narcotics and yada, yada, yada that goes on, and that the management does not take people's complaints very well. They are rude to the people who are living there that want like a nice place to live, and they allow like nonsense to go on, that the police get called, and the police basically just drive through and they say, oh, nope, nothing was found here, and they go on. I've heard that there are a lot of complaints from folks, and there are people who currently live there that are just waiting until their lease is up so they can move the heck out, because they are very unhappy with living there.
On another development that we the city partnered with, and that's the City View homes. There's a number of individual homes that have been built throughout the city. We used MRC lots, sold those to the developer.
That's a good question.
And 30.
I am just waiting for one day for him to come on and be like, hello, it's your mayor. I just know that that's happening. I know that that's going to happen one day. I do not understand. He just gets these communications with the mayor become more kind of like over just he just, I don't know. I'm done with that. Where is this Tweety Bird that I'm talking about? The Riverbend Flats is where the old Marshes was on 12th Street out by the bypass. So it's across the street, the parking lot of the Oasis out there at basically the 12th Street and Burlington is where I'm talking. So, hey, you never know what might happen up there at Camp Ridenour.
2 of the 33 houses built are leased. Now, they haven't all moved in yet. 10 are already living. I think 11 are already in the houses now. The others will be moving in either June or July. But 32 of the 33 are already leased. So if you were wanting one of those new homes that were built throughout the city, those are already taken. There are still a number of townhomes that are available. My understanding is that from their conversation earlier this week, 10 of the townhomes, which are not yet finished, are now pre-leased. So 10 of the townhomes, I think there's close to 30 townhomes available, and 10 of them are pre-leased. So that's another development that we partnered with. And then Kilgore Place is one that will be another affordable, and this one has both affordable and market in the same building. This will be on Kilgore, very close to Silver Birch. That one, I know the plans have been in to the engineer. I think those are now approved. So they're about ready to get their building permit. So the construction will begin on that one as well. Again, one of the things we've been attempting to do.
And you'll know it'll be a quality building because they're going to start building next week and they will be finished by June 1st.
And it all kind of timed out for us to talk about this during May, which is Affordable Housing Month. But we wanted to bring some modern, up-to-date options for our residents. And I think we've done that, and we will continue to work on that process. As far as paving, 9th Street is planned to be milled today. It's always weather dependent, but I think they'll be able to get that done today. And that's the 9th Street is the.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice if the plans actually matched the building? If the building ends up coming out like the plans actually look, that would be comical. That would be a first. Yeah, that would be like a first time. And Janet, yeah, what I found is now, of course, just because I've been involved with it for so long, I've known that. Maybe that's something. That's a good thing mentioned. I'm going to start telling people that ahead of the elections to let people know that, because that's just something I guess that I thought people knew, but they don't tell you that when you run. Like when you run to become a state delegate, they don't tell you like, oh yeah, by the way, if you win, you don't just get to go. Like you only get to go if after you win, you're willing to pay the $150 it takes to go there. Then you've either got to decide you're going to drive down, which it's Indianapolis. So like, I don't understand why people would stay. People like to party and carry on. So that's the reason they do that. But then like, if you're going to do that, you got to pay your hotel. So like, just drive down. But yeah, a lot of people don't know that they've got to pay $150 after they win to attend. And they gladly hope that you don't do that so they can appoint somebody in your spot. That's what they're hoping. They're hoping that people don't do that so they can appoint someone in your position. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll get to McGalliard here in just a second. I hope he talks about that because we're going to bring that up. So if you're driving anywhere in Muncie right now, well, not currently, well, maybe right now if you're listening to this driving down the road, but if you've been driving anywhere in Muncie over the last couple of days, specifically anywhere along McGalliard and Tillotson, you know that like driving is insane because they've got orange cones and construction going on, and everybody should be like, yeah, they're going to do the roads. But remember how Dan and his people do the roads. And I'm not knocking the street department. What I'm saying is I think that they get people in and they have people doing things that they really shouldn't be doing. And they do it a really weird way. They do it the cheapo way. And it's just, it's a cluster, and it's bad planning all around, but it's just total chaos. And a lot of people are saying that they think that there are some serious issues with what's happening with the way they're paving. We'll get to that in a moment, but let's get on with this.
Road just north of Heacon Park. So all that will be milled, and we're also doing some repairs to the paving work out in front of the fire station there at Heacon Park. So those will be milled, and then probably will get paved next week. But know that there's work going on in that area. The Tui splash pad, the Halteman splash pad, and the Cooley splash pads are all open now. So when we have those warm days, the kids can get out there, and adults if you choose. But those splash pads are open.
So weird.
The Riverview one is still on a delay. Only the splash pad's actually ready to go, but the neighborhood wanted us to move some items. We added some fencing that they requested, and moved the playground to another area. So it's not quite open yet. And we didn't, while there's any construction going on, we really don't want to get that opened. So that one's on delay. And then Thomas Park, I'll just admit that somebody broke in and tore that up last year. Not the actual splash pad, but the equipment that operates it. So we're working on redoing that building, making it more secure, and we'll get it open as soon as we can. That's very unfortunate, but 3 others are open and ready to go. So take the kids to Tui, Halteman, or Cooley, and they can enjoy the splash pad opportunities. Couple other things I wanted to let you know that several of these MRC properties that I talked about with City View, they are now assessed, and those will be tax revenues. Many of these are properties that provided 0 tax revenues for the city to provide the services that we need to pay employees, to do paving, to do fire and police protection. Many of those are now assessed, and somewhere between 1 and 2 million. There's still about half of them are not assessed. I went through kind of the list, and you could see some were assessed and some weren't. And that means they'll start paying taxes. The developer will start paying taxes next year. So in 2025, you assess in 24, you pay in 25. So we're very excited about that, to get those properties back on the tax rolls with some property, not just the lots, but with some property. So we're very excited about that. Monday is Memorial Day. We want to make sure that we celebrate and honor those who have served, and especially those who've lost their lives, gave the maximum for the cause. And so there's a couple of events I just want to make sure you're aware of. One will be
that was awkward. I just want to go listen to that again. Stand by. Listen to that again.
Celebrate and honor those who have served, and especially those who've lost their lives, gave the maximum for the cause. And so there's a couple of events I just want to make sure you're aware of. One will be at Heacon Park, and that is at 9 a.m. And that's at the memorial there. And the other will be at what amounts to at Beech Grove, the 152nd annual Memorial Day service at 11 a.m. at Beech Grove Cemetery. And that's in the American Legion section. So 152 years. And then
that's what's so weird about Dan is he has weird phrasing, and he does weird things with his hands while he's doing it. And he's just such a robot.
There'll be a used book
that's on the spectrum.
It feels like he got to the Memorial Day part and he's like, well, I don't need to read this. It's just Memorial Day. This is easy. I can get it out okay. Honor those who gave their lives for our country in defending freedom. And it comes out, for the cause.
For the cause, died.
Very good.
Yes. Gave the maximum for the cause. Jazz hands. What a
Sounds
weird.
like they made a donation to some kind of, like wildlife preservation club.
Win one
right.
for the new.
They got a present.
sale this Saturday at the Alumni Center. You can get a bag of books for $5.
A bag of books.
All the proceeds, they'll provide scholarships for non-traditional college students. So it's a great cause. So there's a lot of things going on. And also I'll mention that because of the holiday, Memorial Day, City Hall will be closed on Monday. So have a great week, a good holiday weekend, yes. And we will talk with you next week.
When you're confident in what you're saying, you don't do that. Absolutely. Yeah. And of course, well, hey, look there. He didn't say anything about the paving. He didn't say anything about Camp Ridenour. And so, yeah, it's just kind of on us to decide what goes on there. So that's a little funky. I don't understand. He's such a weird guy. He's just such a weird guy, man. I don't.
His hands gestures doing this it makes me think of some like the bunny rabbit cartoons.
Yes.
I do have the picture of McGalliard up in the duck for you.
Oh, yes, you do. Okay, excellent. Cool. Yeah, because I was getting ready to look for that. So yeah, here's this thing from McGalliard that they had going, and Annie, everyone was talking about this. This was just such a weird thing that's going on. I just feel like, look, I'm not a construction person. I've never stood out and paved a road. I don't know, what goes into it and what it takes, what it doesn't take. I just have to listen to the people around me that I know that have done things like that do have experience with that. And everyone that I've ever heard from has been like, yeah, no, something doesn't look right here. I know that there are people on the street department that are not happy with what's going on. I hate it because it feels like we're bad mouthing and bashing the people that are actually doing the work. And that's not what's going on. I'm not bad mouthing and bashing the street department. I feel bad for them. I'm not trying to say anything negative about what they've got going on or what they're doing, what they're being forced to do, I guess, rather. And, I hate that for them. And I hate it for us. I hate it for the citizens that have to deal with it. And I just feel like, to me, it's Dan that gets the blame for all of this, because he's looking at however he can cut costs and cut corners and all of the crap that he does and that he allows to happen, and everyone's just supposed to be okay with it. It's like, well, look, our roads haven't been repaired and haven't been fixed and for so long. So if you want this done, shut up and deal with it. And it's kind of like, I would rather them be done right. Like, I think it would be better if this stuff was done right. I just, I don't like things being done wrong. It doesn't make sense to do something and then have to redo it, or, okay, it's only going to last like, listen, the road that Audi was going down and giving, hell last year when they were dealing with, like, it's still there, it's still lasting, but it's definitely like rough. It's definitely not something that is
Do you think you could get Audie to go for a drive down McGalliard to give us a,
yeah, I'm
critique
sure. Yeah,
from
I'm sure
someone who's experienced in these matters?
Yeah. I'm sure we can do that. Where, Kate, did you get that picture? I want to put maybe the picture's up, but where did you get the picture? I want to look at some of the, specifically, because I was going to look at some of the comments.
City of Muncie page, Kristopher.
Oh, yep. Well, that's
and that was the only picture. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I just wanted to get some of the other comments up around that. So yeah, the City of Muncie to take the piss was kind of, we put that up, but some of the people that were commenting, someone says, I used to think it was where the money was or where the taxes were being paid, pay less on Tillotson, all the way down to the football stadium, a lot of tax dollars on that road, and it's terrible. And all the work being done on Tillotson is not a road work. It's pipe under the road, which is true. They're not doing any paving there. It's the utility company. That's the thing people need to understand. What's going on Tillotson is not them fixing the road. They are not fixing the road. They are doing, it's the utility company doing pipe work under the road. And sometime after they're done with that, then they're going to start doing road work. So it's going to be like that forever. My grandpa just asked me yesterday, he's like, hey, have you driven Stumblefoot? You'd have been so happy. Where's Stumblefoot? I got to get on here and see his comments. Listen to me. My grandpa said yesterday, hey, have you driven down Hoyt in a while? And I looked at him and I was like, what are you talking about? You haven't driven down Hoyt in a while. Hoyt's all messed up. And he was like, yeah, I don't know where exactly he was talking about. He must have been meaning from like north of 12th Street up to the city. But I just thought that was funny. And I thought exactly of you when he said that to me. But there's just so much chaos going on in Muncie right now. And it doesn't seem as if there's any rhyme or reason for what's happening. I just think that this is what goes on when you have someone in charge that does not know what they're doing. And listen, I'm not going to say that Dennis Tyler knew anything about street paving. He was a fireman. But Dennis Tyler had somebody in charge that did know a thing or three. Dan Cannon. Dan Cannon didn't know anything. I mean, Dan Cannon's hands were as soft as they could get. But he had someone in place that knew what they were doing. Dan says, I'm going to put in place just the best. Only the best. And then he puts in a bunch of freaks. Yeah, Duke knew, for all of the bad things about Duke, he knew his damn job. You know? It's just so weird. Yeah, someone said, look, this paving that they're putting down on Tillotson or on McGalliard looks like it'll last maybe 5 or 6 whole minutes. So much for that infrastructure package. Wonder where the millions went. Someone said, oh God. One of my arch nemesis said, it's been down longer than 6 minutes, so I guess they showed you. Look, I think it was a joke, dude. Relax. Yeah, man, I don't have a big problem with the road between Tillotson and Fox Ridge Lane there. Why are you not paving out by the bypass? Listen, driving between, you could literally I could drop you off in Ukraine and you could travel around in Ukraine easier than if I dropped you off at the bypass at McGalliard and had you drive to Broadway. There's more chaos between the bypass and Broadway than in war zones. Maybe they may be onto something. Yeah, that might be. So yeah, folks, I don't know. I think it's totally crazy. This is Dan doing what Dan does. I do want to play the Muncie Board of Works for you. Now, I do want to say I was going to go to the Muncie Board of Works meeting today. I was going to attend and I was going to address some concerns. I woke up exactly 5 minutes too late to get there. By the time I got up and got ready and did what I needed to do, I got there and they were already done for the day. So I will set my alarm for an hour early next week. I will get back there and we will address them next week. Here, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, is the Board of Works.
And our thoughts and heartfelt prayers go to Mark Slusher, who is usually behind the scenes on recording all this and getting it live to you. But Mark was involved in a serious car accident. He's going to be fine. But keep thinking of Mark today. He's a unique, great individual for our community, and we appreciate what he does so much. So anyway, that's my commentary for the day. Can we have roll call, please?
Ted Baker.
Present.
Lola Mauer.
Present.
Linda Greger.
Present.
Thank you. Consideration of the May 15th, 2024 minutes.
Yeah, I move approval on the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Okay. All those any comments or questions? Okay. I appreciate these, Lacey. This is literally a booklet of this minutes, but great job. Thank you. Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Motion carried. Thank you very much. We've been presented with the Register of Claims. Craig Wright, City Controller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sent out the claims yesterday afternoon. Really not much this week. We had a lot of insurance claims. We do have an ARP claim for $29,247.24 to Westridge Neighborhood Association. And this was a week that we also paid out of the parks, $94,600 to the NAACP to facilitate the summer program with the 100 kids involved with that. And with that, I will open it up to any questions you might have.
Okay. Linda?
No, I had Wi-Fi problems this week, so I was not able to look at them until this morning, but in my scan before the meeting, I had no questions on anything.
I just have a general question. On page 10, it's noted at the bottom left under vendor, the ARP coronavirus local. Do we know like how long that is still going to be a thing? Not coronavirus, that fund, the vendor.
Yeah, we should, I mean, most of it should be spent through this year, and then with we still have some neighborhood associations on that need to get the information back to with the invoices and everything. So it's still going to take a little while to get to that.
So I want to pause this here and have you notice the meeting's only 9 minutes long, so they apparently wait a minute, what we got going on here? First of all, I'll get back to you there, Janet. So what's really weird about this is, so the meeting's only lasting 9 minutes. They obviously didn't take my concerns seriously, and they are deciding not to go through the claims as we just witnessed. Not only today did they decide not to go through the claims as normal, but now Linda didn't even go through them at home because Linda didn't get them because she had Wi-Fi trouble. Linda only looked at the claims today. Like literally she started looking through the claims minutes before the meeting started, and we heard her say it. So they approved the claims that fast. So that's very crazy. All right, real quick before we go back, Janet. Okay, so basically, Muncie's obviously Muncie. Dan's first HR director, PR. Annie, what is it? Is it HR or is it personnel? Is it the same thing? Is it not the same thing? Can you give me a heads up on, I want to say it right and quit saying the other one. Which one is it? Is it HR? Human resources? Anyways, while we wait for her, Dan's first personnel director, Nancy Lindell, Steve Lindell's wife, routinely, not once, not one time, but like 2 or 3 or 4 times, put out press releases, not on Department of City letterhead, not anything professional, just on blank pieces of paper would write documents and be like, this is a press release. And she would routinely misspell Muncie. That would be like you misspelling your name. All right, that's ridiculous. That would be like me one day spelling KIRS. You know, like literally, you'd need to check and see if I had a brain tumor. Okay. She routinely would spell it, instead of MUNCIE, she would spell MUNICE. MUNICE. So I always said she worked for the city of Muncie. She didn't work for Muncie. She worked for the city of Muncie. And somebody wonderful to them out there took that idea and ran with it. Now, I have to say, long before they did that, I had, back when Dan was changing the names of things, I went and I got a couple pictures of the city Facebook page, the city website, and a couple of different things. And I changed it to, when I was getting mad because they were trying to make Dan like the king of everything, and he was wonderful. I changed everything over to, instead of Muncie, I made it say Dancy because they were saying how wonderful Dan was. And so I went in there and I photoshopped, instead of Muncie on everything, I photoshopped Dancy over everything, and I posted that everywhere. Now, I'm not taking credit for it because they've obviously taken it and they've run with it, for good or bad or right or wrong or whatever. But they've made a whole separate Facebook page called the City of Muncie, and they've ran with it. And so, I like to take a little bit of the credit here, I guess. We came up with the phrase, the word, the Dan addicts. Those are the people that love and support Dan, that are just absolutely crazy with it. So we refer to them as the Dan addicts. And the City of Muncie is something that we talked about here first on the show. And then it was like a team effort. Other people ran with it. So that's why from time to time, we'll talk about the City of Muncie, if that's what you're asking. But yeah, that's what the deal is there. Okay, on back to the Board of Works.
In my calculations, as I review, like I always do, this week, 60% of the claims, a little over $873,000 were health insurance related. That's part of the city government that people don't understand of, how much it actually costs to run. Summer programs were 11% of what we spent. And then from, it's legal to animal shelter to roads. Some of the ARP, makes up about 11% total of those. So, it's significant what it takes to make a city run.
Yes.
And so I did not have any questions about any specific charges. So that was very well defined this week. Okay. Do you have any comments or questions? Having none, all those in favor
We
of
don't have a motion yet.
Oh, a motion.
I move approval of the claims for this week for $873,920.
And second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carried. Thank you, Craig.
Thank you.
We have some unfinished business. I don't see anybody here to deal with that. New business, so we'll keep that tabled. New business, noise exemption authorization from Urban Light Community Church, their annual community celebration. And we have a representative. State your name, which we know, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Pastor Leslie McCrory.
And Leslie, what are you wanting to do? And you can talk about both of these and we'll deal with them separate. But one is a noise exemption for what?
Yeah, so our church throws a block party every year. We've been doing it for over 15 years on our property. The motion is just to close the street adjacent to our property so that we can have a little bit of a safer time at our party. The noise exemption, there's just a stage and a DJ that does music and a little bit of live performing.
And you've been cleared this through the police department and such?
Yes.
And this is a community-wide event, right? So the neighbors are definitely already invited and such, right?
Yeah, it's long standing, so they're already asking when it is.
Okay, that's a good sign when you have an organization. First of all, do we let's just deal with the noise exemption first. Do we have a motion to accept that, approve that?
Yeah, I move approval on the noise exemption for July 12th.
Yes.
I'll second.
Okay.
I do have a question.
Okay, then I was going to ask, what questions do we have?
Yes. I ask this of all events.
Ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? I ask that of all my prey.
Will you have any alcohol present?
No, ma'am.
All right. Good answer.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
And we're open here to any other questions or comments? Okay. Having none, all those in favor
Dude,
signify
her
by
phone's
saying aye.
on and everything.
Aye.
What is going
All
on with
opposed?
Linda?
She's already mentioned the street closure for the same event.
Oh,
in primarily
I
for
think
safety, which
that's,
is an awesome thing. We love community events, so thank you. Do we have
I
a
don't know who's
motion
down
to approve the street
Is
closing?
that Mary?
I approve the street closure motion.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. Any other comments or questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there marking in that outside lane coming north on Madison so that they don't get right up there and realize they can't turn?
No, there's not. We usually just put the barricades right at the
Okay.
intersection.
Come
There's
on.
visibility there, so it's not like there's a building in the way
Already
preventing you from
approved it.
seeing the
Shut
barricade
up.
until you turn.
Okay.
At least not from the lane closest to it.
Just wondering. Of course, the traffic is not that heavy on there, so maybe that's not a problem.
Yeah.
Any other comments or questions?
Linda can spend this much time on a freaking street closure, but she thinks it's crazy that I think that she should name over the various claims that the city of Muncie are paying. That's nuts. That's nuts.
Do we have a motion and a second? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
Any other new business that we need to bring forth? We do. Leslie, if you want, we'll have
Okay.
Removal contract. There was one bid. It has been reviewed. Is in front of Mr. Baker currently.
This is
also
the
family
My
city
Tree
engineer.
Sons.
Well,
I don't understand why
they are a current vendor.
like
They've
that.
had a contract
Go get
with
that
us for
checked
the
out.
previous 3 years. This is just a continuation of that.
I don't know
So
if
I
you
would
get an
recommend
STD through a
and
phone
approval.
message or not.
And this streamlines the process, doesn't it?
Right. So
It does, Ted. It does. It's
and the
streamlined.
speed, we can tell you what a good job they do, and My Tree Sons tends to do a pretty good job for us. So
Sounds good.
Do we have
Quit
a
drumming
motion
on
to
the podium.
approve this?
Yeah, I would
contract?
move approval for the contract for the tree trimming.
I'll second.
Comments and questions? Thank you for looking at this. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, thank you. That motion's passed. Anything else?
that's it.
Do we have any other
Drumming!
business for the day?
Now, I'm going to go there and I'm going to read this next week, but I am going to read this to you right now just so you guys can know ahead of time what I'm going to say. This is what I plan to say this morning. This is what I'll say next week. I was going to say last week, so now I'll have to say 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I stood before you stating that I felt that you board members needed to spend more time in your meetings going over the claims. When I was done speaking, Linda had asked exactly what I thought the Board of Works needed to be doing. And while that was and is a simple question to answer, a simple question for me to answer, I will admit I got a bit caught up and kind of tongue-tied because I was caught off guard because I couldn't believe that she was asking it. Obviously, the answer is spend more time going over the claims. That just makes sense, doing that on the record. But once I finally said that last week, Linda said, well, we could do that, but we would be here till noon. Ted then said, if anyone has any concerns about specific claims in the meetings are open and the public, are more than able to come before us and ask any questions that they have. When I got home and I rewatched the meeting, however, I came up with a couple of issues and or points about both of those answers that cause concern. First, to Ted's point, sure, these meetings are open to the public. However, there is no way for someone to come here and voice concerns with a claim before the vote, because the claims are not posted online until after you vote to pay them. So the fact that someone would have to wait until a vote is taken and the claim is paid to then come here the following week to raise a question about it kind of makes that statement and that point a moot issue. Second, going through the claims. Honestly, I don't know where to begin with this. Like, okay, first of all, it takes you 3 hours. If it takes you 3 hours to read through the claims, well, then so be it. It takes you 3 hours to read through the claims. If that allows you to give the public what they need and for everyone to feel okay with what the government's doing, then that's what it takes. That's what your job is. I think, though, as I said, 2 weeks ago, which was last week, that common sense could be used here. Maybe, for example, you don't have to go over the city utilities, but I would say it makes common sense. It makes sense for you guys to go over the contractors and the vendors' claims, the invoices that come before you that the city pays. Bottom line, you're public servants, and you should be here to serve the public your best. I mean, you guys give someone wanting to close a street the third degree, but you don't bat an eye at paying a full-time city employee making $53,000 a year, an additional $30,000 for part-time work that they send through in claims. I just cannot help but think if you were going through those claims one by one, you would have all recognized there would have been an issue with someone submitting a claim and getting paid routinely, and someone could have asked a question. I will tell you, for one, if I would have heard the same name over and over, time and time again, that's something I would have definitely questioned, and it would have been months ago. It wouldn't have been this far along into the process. So that's something that you guys need to consider. And then lastly, I want to bring up, and I want to bring before them this document right here, where they have apparently not approved this contract, but yet this contract employee has been working since January. And I want to know if they're okay with that, if they think that they need to approve this, or what they think is going on there. So I think that that's a very important question that I want to put them. I want to put that there. Also, as Annie said, the previous Board of Works president under the other administration would ask the controller if there were any unusual claims that were not like a regular claim. They could do that. They could do that. But that would be left up to Craig Wright to then be honest about it. And I'll be honest, I don't feel like he has that ability. I don't trust him.
Well, a good case in point of that is in January.
Mm-hmm.
He got up before the Board of Works, said it's the usual claims, and then he mentioned one. He talked about a fire truck that they were purchasing.
Okay.
But if you go through the claims and read through them, there is a over $200,000 grant paid to the Justice Center.
Paid to the Justice Center.
And that's an unusual claim.
Yeah.
And it's a huge claim. Why was that not brought up in the meeting?
Yeah.
So to your point about not trusting him, he included it in the email that he sent, but he did not mention it on the record.
That's just so weird. Yeah, and I understand what you're saying, Annie. At least the Board of Works would be covering their ass on that. I get that, and that's true. But at the end of the day, Stumblefoot says Ted and Linda can't even remember what they had for breakfast, and Dan expects us to trust them. Absolutely, and that's the thing. Honestly, I was going to say, Linda used to be the queen of asking questions. She would question everything, and she's checked out. Ted is so nervous, and Linda just said, and Lola Marr sits up there and she doesn't say a damn thing the whole time. I don't understand what she's even doing there. I mean, this today asking Craig when COVID was going to be over, or when the COVID money was going to be over, is the first question I've heard her ask in a long time. So yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand. I think it's insane, and I think those people are absolutely crazy. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for us. I did talk with my cousin today, and I think we're going to try to do, I can't convince her to come on and do an in-person, in-camera interview. She's like, nah, nobody needs to see all of that. So I think I'm going to do a phone call interview with her. We'll have her on the line, and we'll have her on that way. and we'll talk to her. We might, just depends on what goes on with records. See, now we're in record wait time. We're like waiting for records. So maybe we'll have her come on tomorrow. I got to remember tomorrow's Thursday. So tomorrow's Thursday. If we have her on tomorrow, that'll be good. If we get records, we'll see what happens. Also, I know that Alva asked us to look through that thing in Louisiana. I'm going to cover that. I want to cover the thing that Alva was talking about. I'm also going to cover a story in the next day or two out of North Carolina where a mother went to bat for her son with the school board, and she gave the school board what for, and the school board actually retaliated against her. And I've seen things like this happen locally, so we're going to talk about this. Matter of fact, I've been in communication with this mother, and I think we're going to have her on here in maybe the next week or so. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. Yeah, there's that. So if you guys could do us a favor, go through and hit that like button before you leave. Yeah, you notice that, Jack? It's doing real well. Now it's still just a little. Yeah, we're doing well. I generally like for the sides to be a little shorter than the top, but we'll get there. When I go in for my next cut in 6 months, we'll see what we can do. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, you have a wonderful rest of your evening. As soon as I get a rundown on who's going to Camp Ridenour, I'll let you guys know, and we'll let you know on everything else. Oh, just to end, now I'll talk about that tomorrow. You guys have a little interesting thing that you can hang on to. So be here tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern. I have some interesting things I'll talk to you about. You guys take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow evening. Good night. God bless, and goodbye.